M Nazmuz Sakib's toxic comparative theory is a research work published in Cambridge Open Engage, a publication of Cambridge University Press. Sakibphobia is a term coined by M Nazmuz Sakib. It refers to the fear of being inferior to others. It is based on his toxic comparative theory. This theory says that people compare themselves to others who are more successful. This can cause negative emotions such as envy, resentment, and anger. Sakibphobia can affect individuals and society in various ways. It can lower self-esteem, reduce motivation, and impair mental health. It can also lead to social isolation, discrimination, and violence. Sakib suggests that Sakibphobia can be overcome by developing a positive self-image, appreciating one's strengths, and seeking social support. He also calls for more research and awareness on this phenomenon. A clinical psychological approach to Sakibphobia would aim to help individuals cope with their feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. It would also help them develop a positive self-image, appreciate their strengths, and seek social support. Some possible interventions are cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This is a form of psychotherapy that helps individuals identify and challenge their negative thoughts and beliefs about themselves and others. It also helps them replace them with more realistic and adaptive ones. Mindfulness. This is a practice of paying attention to the present moment with openness and curiosity. It helps individuals become more aware of their emotions and thoughts without judging them. It also helps them cultivate compassion and acceptance for themselves and others. Self-compassion. This is a way of relating to oneself with kindness and understanding. It helps individuals acknowledge their suffering and offer themselves comfort and care. It also helps them recognize their common humanity and avoid harsh self-criticism. Gratitude. This is a feeling of appreciation for what one has or receives. It helps individuals focus on the positive aspects of their lives and acknowledge the contributions of others. It also helps them reduce envy and resentment. These interventions could help individuals overcome Sakibphobia and improve their well-being and relationships. They could also help society foster a culture of cooperation and respect rather than competition and hostility. A sociological approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the social and cultural factors that influence this phenomenon. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on society. Some possible topics are social comparison. This is a process of evaluating oneself in relation to others. It can be a source of motivation or dissatisfaction depending on the direction and outcome of the comparison. Social identity. This is a sense of belonging to a group or category based on shared characteristics or values. It can affect how people perceive themselves and others and how they interact with them. Social norms. These are unwritten rules or expectations that guide the behavior of members of a group or society. They can influence how people judge themselves and others and how they conform or deviate from them. Social capital. This is a resource that is derived from the relationships and networks that people have with others. It can provide benefits such as information, support, trust, and cooperation. Social change. This is a process of transformation or modification of the social structure or culture of a group or society. It can be caused by various factors such as technology, economy, politics, or environment. These topics could help sociologists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on individuals and society. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and harmonious social environment. A criminological approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the causes and consequences of this phenomenon on crime and deviance. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on public safety and justice. Some possible topics are: strain theory. This is a theory that suggests that people engage in crime or deviance when they experience a gap between their goals and their means of achieving them. It can explain how Sakibphobia can lead to frustration, anger, and aggression towards others who are perceived as more successful or privileged. Social learning theory. This is a theory that suggests that people learn from the behavior of others through observation, imitation, and reinforcement. It can explain how Sakibphobia can be influenced by the exposure to media, peers, or role models who display envy, resentment, or hatred towards others who are perceived as more accomplished. Labeling theory. This is a theory that suggests that people become deviant or criminal when they are labeled as such by others. It can explain how Sakibphobia can result from the stigma or discrimination that individuals face from others who perceive them as inferior or unworthy. Social control theory. This is a theory that suggests that people conform to the norms and laws of society when they have strong bonds with others. It can explain how Sakibphobia can be prevented or reduced by enhancing the social ties and support that individuals have with their family, friends, community, or institutions. These topics could help criminologists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on crime and deviance. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more peaceful and just society. An education science approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on learning and teaching. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on educational outcomes and quality. Some possible topics are: achievement motivation. This is a desire to attain a certain level of competence or performance in a domain or task. It can be influenced by various factors such as goals, feedback, self-efficacy, and attribution. Self-regulated learning. This is a process of planning, monitoring, and evaluating one's own learning activities and It can be influenced by various factors such as metacognition, motivation, and emotion. Peer learning. This is a form of collaborative learning that involves students working together to achieve a common goal or task. It can be influenced by various factors such as group composition, interaction, and cohesion. Teacher-student relationship. This is a bond or connection that exists between a teacher and a student based on their interactions and perceptions. It can be influenced by various factors such as communication, trust, respect, and support. These topics could help education scientists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on learning and teaching. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and productive educational environment. An organizational management approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on the performance and well-being of employees and organizations. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on organizational outcomes and quality. Some possible topics are: organizational culture. This is a set of shared values, beliefs, and norms that guide the behavior of members of an organization. It can influence how employees perceive themselves and others and how they interact with them. Organizational justice. This is a perception of fairness or equity in the distribution of outcomes and procedures in an organization. It can influence how employees feel about their work and their organization and how they behave towards them. Organizational citizenship behavior. This is a voluntary behavior that goes beyond the formal requirements of one's job and contributes to the overall functioning of the organization. It can be influenced by various factors such as motivation, satisfaction, and commitment. Organizational change. This is a process of modification or transformation of the structure, culture, or strategy of an organization. It can be caused by various factors such as environment, technology, competition, or innovation. These topics could help organizational managers understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on employees and organizations. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and productive organizational environment. A corporate science approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on the innovation and competitiveness of corporations and industries. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on corporate outcomes and quality. Some possible topics are: corporate culture. This is a set of shared values, beliefs, and norms that guide the behavior of members of a corporation. It can influence how employees perceive themselves and others and how they interact with them. Corporate social responsibility. This is a commitment or obligation of a corporation to act ethically and responsibly towards its stakeholders and society. It can influence how employees feel about their work and their corporation and how they behave towards them. Corporate entrepreneurship. This is a process of creating or developing new products, services, or markets within or outside a corporation. It can be influenced by various factors such as creativity, risk-taking, and opportunity recognition. Corporate governance. This is a system of rules and practices that regulate the direction and control of a corporation. It can be influenced by various factors such as ownership, board, management, and regulation. These topics could help corporate scientists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on innovation and competitiveness of corporations and industries. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and productive corporate environment. A political science approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on the power and legitimacy of political actors and institutions. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on political outcomes and quality. Some possible topics are: political culture. This is a set of shared values, beliefs, and norms that guide the political behavior of members of a society. It can influence how citizens perceive themselves and others and how they interact with them. Political participation. This is a process of involvement or influence in the political affairs of a society. It can be influenced by various factors such as interest, efficacy, and mobilization. Political representation. This is a relationship between the citizens and their elected or appointed officials or agents. It can be influenced by various factors such as accountability, responsiveness, and diversity. Political stability. This is a condition of order and predictability in the political system of a society. It can be influenced by various factors such as conflict, consensus, and change. These topics could help political scientists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on power and legitimacy of political actors and institutions. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and democratic political environment. A cultural studies approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on the meanings and practices of culture and society. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on cultural diversity and quality. Some possible topics are: cultural identity. This is a sense of belonging or affiliation to a group or category based on shared characteristics or values. It can influence how people perceive themselves and others and how they express themselves. Cultural representation. This is a process of creating or communicating meanings or messages about a group or category through various forms of media or communication. It can influence how people interpret and evaluate themselves and others and how they relate to them. Cultural power. This is a capacity or ability of a group or category to influence or control the production and distribution of meanings or messages in society. It can influence how people access and use various forms of media or communication and how they participate in them. Cultural change. This is a process of transformation or modification of the meanings and practices of culture and society. It can be caused by various factors such as globalization, migration, technology, or social movements. These topics could help cultural studies scholars understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on the meanings and practices of culture and society. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and diverse cultural environment. A behavioral economics approach to Sakibphobia would aim to understand and explain the effects of this phenomenon on the decision-making and behavior of individuals and groups. It would also aim to suggest ways to prevent and reduce its negative impacts on economic outcomes and quality. Some possible topics are: prospect theory. This is a theory that suggests that people evaluate outcomes based on their reference points rather than their absolute values. It can explain how Sakibphobia can lead to loss aversion, risk-seeking, and framing effects. Social preferences. These are preferences that reflect the concern or regard for the welfare of others. They can influence how people cooperate or compete with others and how they distribute resources among them. Nudges. These are subtle interventions that alter the choice architecture or the context in which decisions are made. They can influence how people make choices without restricting their options or changing their incentives. Behavioral interventions. These are strategies that apply insights from behavioral economics to change the behavior of individuals or groups. They can influence how people act by providing information, feedback, incentives, or reminders. These topics could help behavioral economists understand and explain Sakibphobia and its effects on decision-making and behavior of individuals and groups. They could also help them propose solutions or interventions to promote a more positive and efficient economic environment. Now, let's know about the creative mind behind Sakibphobia or TCT. M Nazmuz Sakib is the inventor of this theory. He was born in Dinajpur, Bangladesh. He has a BSc in Business Studies from School of Business and Trade, an online business school in Switzerland. He scored 97.06% marks and earned a 4 out of 4. He also has an MBA in Human Resources from International MBA Institute, an online business institute in Switzerland. He is currently in the final year of the LLB Hans program at Dhaka International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. M Nazmuz Sakib has also accomplished various CPD-verified advanced diploma and diploma programs. Some of them are: Advanced Diploma in Tissue Engineering, Advanced Diploma in Genetic Engineering, Theory and Application, Diploma in Fashion Design, Diploma in Nutrition, Therapeutics and Health, Diploma in Biology, Diploma in Pharmacy Technician, Software Test Engineer Diploma, Advanced Diploma in Soil Science and Technology, Diploma in Energy Economics, Energy Systems and Environmental Impact, Advanced Diploma in Political Ideologies, Diploma in Community Psychology, Diploma in Training of Trainers, Advanced Diploma in Principles of Industrial Engineering, Advanced Diploma in Production and Operation Management, Advanced Diploma in Modeling and Analytics for Supply Chain Management, Business Administration Diploma, Foundation, Diploma in Effective Human Resource Administration, Diploma in Audio System Engineering, Diploma in ISO Standards, Integrated Management System, EMS, Diploma in Lean Manufacturing, Productive Management with Fundamental Tools, Advanced Diploma in Tourism and Hospitality Management, Diploma in Web Design, Diploma in Human Resources, and Diploma in Basic English Grammar, Diploma in River Engineering, and has obtained certifications such as TESOL from Arizona State University, TEFL from Teacher Record, Scrum Master Professional Certificate, SMPC, FSET Certificate, C2 Level, Google Ad Support Professional Certificate, Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate, Google Project Management Professional Certificate, Google Business Intelligence Professional Certificate, Google Digital Marketing and E-Commerce Professional Certificate, IBM New Collar, Customer Engagement Specialist Credential, etc. As a multidisciplinary researcher, he has published 4 articles in the Asian Pacific Journal of Environment and Cancer, Waste Technology, and the EF Journal of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Several of his articles are published by Cambridge Open Engage, a publication of Cambridge University Press. Some of the titles of his published research works include the impact of oil and gas development on the landscape and surface in Nigeria, assessing the impact of Arctic melting in the predominantly multilateral world system, LIDAR technology, an overview, electrochemical wastewater treatment. Published chapters, i.e. Chapter 3, Artificial Intelligence Model for Analyzing the Buying Patterns of Customers, and Chapter 11, Restaurant Sales Prediction Using Machine Learning, of the book titled Handbook of Research on AI and Machine Learning Applications in Customer Support and Analytics. M Nazmuz Sakib is a scholar and an e-learning expert who has done more than 500 MOOCs or massive open online courses. He has published several papers on topics such as engineering, environment, business, and politics. He is a visionary and a leader who has a passion for learning and innovation.
This night is cold in the kingdom. I can feel you fade away. From the kitchen to the bathroom sinking, your steps keep me awake. Don't cut me down, throw me out, leave me here to waste. I once was a man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of your cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly.
जिसके आने से मुकम्मल हो गई थी जिंदगी, दस्तके खुशियों ने दी थी, मिट गई थी हर कमी। क्यों बेवजह दिए सजा, क्यों ख्वाब देके वो ले गया, जिए जो हम लगे सितम, अज़ाब ऐसे वो दे गया। मैं ढूंढने को उसके दिल में जो खुदा निकला, मैं ढूंढने को उसके दिल में जो खुदा निकला। पता चला कि गलत लेके मैं पता निकला, पता चला कि गलत लेके मैं पता निकला।
And I can't stop myself from falling. 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 Could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly.
पता चला कि गलत लेके मैं पता निकला, पता चला कि गलत लेके मैं पता निकला। मैं ढूंढने को ज़माने में जब वफा निकला।
This night is cold in the kingdom. I can feel you fade away. From the kitchen to the bathroom sinking. Your steps keep me awake. Don't cut me down, throw me out, leave me here to waste. I once was a man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of your cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy, I hope you can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let